Welcome to Spring 2020 Fabric Collection from Norwalk Furniture. Normally, you all are here, and there are 100 of you out in front of Dixon and me, and we are showing you our spring fabric assortment that will debut at our pre-market and at the High Point Market. But we know we're all sheltering at home now, so we wanted to bring you the collection virtually by this film. Dixon will have slides, we'll be showing it the fabrics, and we just wanted to give you a sense of what will be coming soon. We hope to open up on May 4th, and your fabric swatches should be sent out shortly thereafter. But here's a little preview. As you know, each season we buy about 100 fabrics that are collected in about 4 or 5 different colorways, and this season is the same as well. And we've designed the collection to be able to work back with some of the other color themes that we've done in the past, always with the eye of having a beautiful but useful assortment. So with no further ado, here we are, Spring 2020 Norwalk Fabrics.
As you know, all shades of green have seen a real uptick in home furnishings in the last several years, and so it's not surprising that we're going to do this season a whole collection of green-inspired vignettes. Let me read you our trend, which we call Green Envy. The many shades of green have had a several years run of ever-increasing popularity. We feel that currently the deeper shades are showing the strongest trend. Colors like emerald, shamrock, and pickle are all trend leaders. But like all good base colors, it is often the secondary complement that makes the deeper tones really sing. This season we've chosen two. With the deepest greens, we like a splash of medium ochre. Think dandelion to butterscotch. With slightly lighter pickle greens, we love the soft addition of a light violet. Think periwinkle or lavender. As is so often the case in home furnishings, the interplay between two just right color tones is the secret to an energetic and successfully designed room. Here's an example of what we call pickle green. In this room, the designer has restrained themselves and stuck with exactly one tone of green, not too yellow and not too blue. You can see they used the same fabric on the chaise, on the ottoman, on the sofa, and then picked it right up again on the walls, and even in the plants. But if you notice, what's the one little colorful accent? Behind the sofa, a little touch of lilac. Here's another example of what we call pickle green, and I particularly like this room, again, for its restraint. It's essentially a gray, white, and green room, but what makes it successful is the use of the perfect color in the walls. It's not too yellow, it's not going towards chartreuse, it's not too brown, it's not going towards sage. It's energetic and fresh, and picked up again on the pillows on the chairs. I frankly don't like the Kelly green chairs in the next room. I think they would have been a lot more successful picking up the wood tones that are in the arms of the chairs in the living room. Here you begin to see what we feel is the right shade of green that's on trend right now in darker tones. I like the energy that the little touch of the pickle color also in the velvet pillow on the leather sofa brings to this room. Moving just a shade lighter than emerald, this shamrock colored sofa is right on trend. In these next two slides, we see how nicely these deeper tones of green match up with our curry kind of colors. In this first one, we see how pretty the butterscotch is on this emerald green sofa. And in the second slide here, we go really all the way right on up to kind of a daffodil color yellow that gives some real life and energy to a otherwise very traditional Chesterfield sofa. In this slide, you can see how nicely this shamrock sofa coordinates with leather. Here, just a peek of a saddle-colored chair is highlighted with the butterscotch pillows for an overall very pleasing effect. Here on the left, we begin to introduce our violet and mauve colors to the emerald greens. You can see in this sofa, which already has the butterscotch ottoman as part of its vignette, a beautiful ombre pillow, and then the flesh-toned ottoman in front of it coordinate all three colors for an especially modern take on an emerald green sofa. Here's another rather modern emerald green sofa. This one accented with a bit of a darker plum color pillow, and on the left the lilac again. In this slide, you can see how the emerald greens pick up and coordinate so nicely, even with the very darker tones of lilac. Here on the right, the chair is almost purple, and on the left, the beautiful deep lilac pillows and the imagery on the wall really coordinate the whole room together quite beautifully. Here we can see how nicely a dusty lilac, I might even go so far as to call it mauve, looks terrific with this emerald green sofa. Here we see how the flip of the last slide works just as well. In these pictures, the walls are the emerald green, and the accents, the throw pillow, the lampshade, and the sofa take on the light lilac hues that are so successfully coordinated with this deep shade of green. And here to end the green envy trend is a little reminder that even Fluffy loves her emerald green sofa.
Dixon, we should also mention that we do this really for instruction and for information for our dealers in our community, but this is not for use publication outside of our community. The photography is really just meant to describe. It is not our photography. So we really appreciate using it internally as an education and not really using it for social media. So Sheila will have plenty of great photography for social media.